Hello, we are here. I am streaming. I think I'm streaming. I think you can hear me. I think everything is going as should be going. But here we go. We're going to start a new game. We're going to play as Hero. We're going to use Sword. We're going to use the customary lane, named for Lane Dobler. Select play area. I want somewhere where we can get land as far across as we can, so that we can have land in each corner. I don't know that I'll necessarily mess with this at any point, but you can tell this is almost certainly select the spot with a directional button and press OK. This is almost certainly not going to be a game that I like. This save file in particular will not be a game that I play regularly, because honestly I'll probably end up deleting it at some point. But the portability is the fun thing with this. So I am playing Legend of Mana on my PlayStation TV. It is the PS1 Classic version that is emulated on the PlayStation TV / Vita / PSP. That is, I believe, Swedish singing that you are hearing. I love this song. It's very beautiful. And this FMV is replaced in the newer version with very lovely animation and CG. But this is still very nice. This was like mind-blowing 20 years ago. Back in 2000? Yeah, 2000. I mean, I think 99 in Japan, but you get the idea. And again, this was very beautiful in its day. We can tell how grainy it was from how it appears here. And it's very hard to explain the way that this must have looked on a CRT as opposed to this like HD screen that we're using. many games were made to be viewed on CRTs, and again, it defies logic to try and explain how that was different. But you just have to see it, and I wish I could do a scanline filter. In fact, whoa, oh shit! I did not want to skip that, but oh well. No. So we get, this is very similar. Hello, Looney. Thank you for being here as always. So we are demonstrating the differences between the original Legend of Mana and the remake. So this is the original, and it is being emulated on the PS TV, but it is the PlayStation Classic version. This part is largely the same, although, as I mentioned earlier, this not being on a CRT, it's different, and it does not look crisp. And I might be mistaken, but I think this was one of the famous lost games, and that they did not save the code for this game, and so there was not. My recollection from when they talked about the remake is that they could not. This should look familiar. They could not just find the files that they used. Let's see, there we go. We should try and turn on auto run. Vibration on, I guess? Yeah. Button. Come on, there's got to be a way to turn auto run on. Anyhow, if memory serves, I believe they needed to use artificial intelligence, allegedly, to remake the backgrounds of this game. And the backgrounds are gorgeous. We saw that recently, and I'll show you the contrast here in a little bit. But like, look at this. This was made for a CRT. Everything is very like grainy and granulated. Nothing is clear, and for a game that was meant to be as soft as this game was, it's really hard to make that distinction. There's nothing to say to Little Cactus at this point because we have not completed any missions. But as you can see, it's virtually the same game. The remake is just so much prettier and so much more crisp. See, they changed that. Look at that. That's Miss Potts right there. I think they literally changed that. Like, it's so much more prominent here. And there's a treasure chest with Lucra. There's all this stuff, characters, artifacts, monsters, techniques. And there's nothing here. Like, what good's a library that you have to fill in the blanks for? And as opposed to the other game, there appears to be no way to do an auto run on this, so you have to hold down the circle button. And for those of you who stuck with me, you'll know this should be the orchard area, but it's not. And that's like a key event that happens. Like, this area should be where you go to create things, but it has not been set up to be as such. And then we've got a little our little monster ranch over here, but no monsters yet. Square just made a habit of throwing away assets at the end of development cycles, and when confronted about it years later, their only excuse was something along the lines of, "We didn't think it'd be important to archive assets down the line." I'm just fuming about it to this day. Yeah, and this was right at the time that they were like, "Oh, money? We're gonna sink it into a movie studio in Hawaii." And you can look that up, and you'll find out just exactly how good that was. No, I didn't. I didn't know that. Well, Kalen the poet told me that the town of Domina exists because I think so. People say the world isn't an illusion, but the Sproutlings know. If you can't find Domina, use your imagination to find it. Here, use this. Color blocks. This is the town of Domina. Yeah, famously. Oh, god damn it. Famously, they lost the master data for Kingdom Hearts. And the worst part about it is that they remastered Kingdom Hearts 1, but they didn't remaster Kingdom Hearts 2. And I'm talking like mostly from the ground up. So when you play those compilations of like Kingdom Hearts 2.5 or whatever, they the difference in the okay, I'll just do this here. The difference between the cutscenes from Kingdom Hearts 1 and the cutscenes from Kingdom Hearts 2 is so stark that it just looks stupid. Wait, why the fuck did... Well, it doesn't matter. But yeah, everybody's gonna remember the late 90s. Hey! At least give me your name. Ellipses. Double ellipses. Just in archival methods, Pshaw, we'll just put a movie theater in our movie studio in Hawaii, and it'll also have a basketball court. What could possibly go wrong? See, the inclusion of the basketball court was probably the least ruinous thing they did about that movie theater. Jeez, he makes me sick. Alright, what do you say, Onion Man? I'm Dual, Onion Warrior. My friend Tipo is the shopkeeper in the shopkeeper's house. Meet me there if you want to talk. Alright. It's a reasonable request. Out of the way, please. It's important to share. Okay. There I was, looking for someone to travel with. That jerk started chewing me out. How upset. Wait, so I just have to like stand in front of him and he's gonna be all... I'll head to the market, meet me there if you need me. I like how they start the game with all these scripted walking events. And let's see, you know what, you deal with that. As much as I dislike Niccolo, we're gonna follow him, we're gonna do his adventure, because we literally never did that last time. My name's Niccolo, I'm a traveling merchant. But the highway's full of bandits. It's too dangerous to leave the town, don't you think so? Sure. Prudent people like us should stay inside where it's safe. So it's like a trick question. How brave of you. I can't do business with those highwaymen about. Let's go teach those bandits a lesson. Once we're done, I'll make you rich. Sure. You're quite a mercenary. I like people who know the value of money. I don't mean your average inexpensive football court made of concrete, no sir. Actual hardwood b-ball court with seats and everything. I still say that's probably the least ruinous thing they did with their money. Is make a basketball court. Like, I hope that in Hawaii somewhere, someone's still using that basketball court. I hope they have a high school in the stupid movie studio that they built. Like, the building of things is not what bothers me. Oh, shoot. That's right, we gotta go back into Domina. We gotta be mean to Tipo. Like, a basketball court might have cost $1 million, especially when you consider they had to, they might have had to, like, import all of the building materials from off the island. A very real possibility that that's exactly how that went. $1 million basketball court. Then you look at the budget for Final Fantasy The Spirits Within. You look at the voice cast for Final Fantasy Spirits Within. And all of a sudden, a full, possibly Olympic-sized basketball court doesn't seem that bad. Now, you're the finance department for Square, you might just be pulling your hair out, but you know, again, the least ruinous thing that they did with that movie theater, probably that basketball court. Probably. You make a movie with Alec Baldwin, Steve Buscemi, James Woods, Roz from Frasier, some other people, and you don't somehow make a movie that people want to see in theaters. It's magic how bad it was. Like, it's amazing how poorly that whole thing went. No, we're looking at all of these like weird little FMVs that are taking place. They were magic back in the day. 20 years ago, this was amazing. We couldn't imagine anything more crisp than this. That "I'll make you rich" line sounds so much more saucy when you say it in Spanish. Te voy a hacer rico. Ay, güey, que llevada, no. It's true. I mean, it doesn't help that, like, when Americans, or well, when in English you say rich can mean like you are, you know, swimming in money, or you are swimming in flavor. But the flavor part does not get used nearly as often. But like in Spanish, rico means rich, but it also means flavorful, and it has a lot of different connotations. So yeah, there's some sauce in there for sure. Excuse me. Now, I'm trying to think. You know what? There's Dana. Hello, I'm Dana. I come from someplace. Did you see one of the seven? Did you come to see one of the seven wisdoms? Wow, what cute ears! We were meant to be together. Square cast Alec Baldwin for Spirits Within because they wanted to go into the movie business guns blazing, but they ended up shooting themselves in the foot. Yes, that's a really good way of putting it. Excuse me, I wasn't talking to you. Double ellipses. Came here to see the wisdom. You know what? Yes, because we never did this before. You must be brave, and I'm afraid to see him. I fear that the truth will make me suffer more. No, I get it. I just got it. I've had a few drinks, so I was slow on the uptake, but haha, guns. Oh god, okay. It's not too soon for Alex. I mean, I will frequently make the joke that the Hindenburg jokes are too soon. Obviously, tongue very firmly in cheek, but no, it's not too soon for those. We were just talking about like making O.J. Simpson jokes back in '93, and we certainly didn't have terribly many compunctions about doing that. All right. So I remember playing this on a controller so old that there was no. I don't think I had analog sticks on my controller when I bought this game. Those controllers existed, I just didn't own them. I had the old PlayStation 1 controllers that came with the system. I want to say before they made the PlayStation. Oh, hey, Ronin Kakuhito. The controller with the analog sticks was extra expensive at the time. Yes, it certainly was, and I didn't find any need for it. I think that was mostly for games like Siphon Filter, which good game. I was not playing it. I did not need that controller at the time, so I was fine. It was not a concern. But I will say that this game is different playing on a controller with an analog stick. I was used to using the D-pad for everything. Ring cap. Well. It's a cultural thing, of course. We were making earthquake jokes back in '85 before the ground was even done shaking Viva Mexico. These Chobbits are going to be talking smack. Hey, hand over that cash. Cash. Give candy. Oh yeah. These guys are mad for money. I can't stand them. Master, come and thrash this punk. Controller was also a lot lighter. Yeah, so much lighter. And I think it was even before it had rumble capabilities, right? Or was PS2 the first one with the rumble? I honestly can't remember. See, back when I was a kid, and by kid I mean 17, 18, I was not as good at the stun lock, but man, look at this. Oh! I think the N64 was the only one with the rumble. Yeah, that makes sense. There we go. I just appreciate how, like, amazingly impressive, like, the death animation on that guy was. Like, they wanted to draw you in. If this game had had a demo, that would have been it. Wonderful. I knew you could do it. I also distinctly remember how huge the PlayStation controller felt, moving from the SNES and the Genesis. Yeah, it did feel like it was a big improvement or a big change. Thank you. You really are something else. I'll make you rich. In just a moment. Iron pot, greenball bud, taco bug, normally costing 3,000 lucra, but it can be yours for only 300. Got greenball bun, taco bug, iron pot. Oh, and take this too. AF flame. AF medallion. What are you frowning at? Smile, let the world know you're happy. After all, I am a merchant. I want to make my customers happy. I enjoy life. You should too. Well, adios. Smile! Crook. Now I recall the first DualShock had haptics. Recall Gran Turismo 2 making that joypad shake like crazy when you went off the track. It's funny, I remember buying a PS1. I remember... no, not there. I remember that evening I went with my sisters. They were much older than I was, or are much older. And we went to go see Toy Story 2. But that was the first day I owned a PlayStation. It was very late in the cycle. I was way late to the party because, more fool of me, I bet on the Sega Saturn. I bought a Sega Saturn just to play Rare. And I did. I fulfilled that promise. Money crazy, and then you leave, and then it does a little thing, and I suppose we'll save the game. And in this version anyways, you can't just save anywhere you want. Chrono Cross also made the DualShock rattle crazy that every time you cast Luminaire, that the damn thing was gonna fall apart. Did it? Did it ever? Alright. So, that was the first mission in Legend of Mana. We can see it's still very impressive games, some really cool stuff. We're gonna switch it up real quick. Let's see. Let's just go on standby. So it'll be black for a second, but bear with me. And we're gonna switch things up. I already said that. So as I mentioned, I am 3 shots in because my roommates and I are just kind of having one of them Fridays. And here we are. Okay. Come on now. And I just gotta pick up this controller here. Alright, so there we are. Now, for those of you who were with me while I was playing before, just bear in mind the subtle differences. We're just going to do a new game in English. Whoop. Just kind of obnoxious how this just takes you out of the whole experience. This is, I don't know, probably just how they do it, but how they can't let you do it in game is weird. But already we see how much more crisp it is. Alright, this should be fine. Place the mailbox on the map. Okay, we did it. Never did fall apart, but my old PS1 model pad eventually went unresponsive in one direction. Apparently because of all the shaking. Guy that tried to fix it said those particular models had motors that were stronger than previous ones. That makes sense. So if you were here with me when I started the stream, you'll have remembered what this looked like in the original. This is all the same so far. Very much more cleaned up. Oh yeah, this is the same, but they did a way better job of like. They might have even redone this whole bit, but this was like an FMV on the original. I think there are some additional graphics that they're using here. Hey, that was my niece on screen for a second. Haha. My first on-screen appearance on every streams. Yeah, that's when I said that like your profile picture had me swooning. That's what I meant. Yeah, this whole bit is way cleaner than it was in the previous iteration. I think I said this when I first started streaming this game recently, but like this really was Simpsons tapped out before Simpsons tapped out. Like, oh no, somebody blew up the structure of the world, we're gonna redo it, and you get to decide what goes next to what. But the Simpsons house next to Moe's Tavern, what? All of this is like so much cleaner. Oh man, look at that layering. I wonder what this would look like on a CRT. This bit is the same. You get the codependent mana tree. I like how this is actually meant to be after an apocalypse. Like, this is like Thundar the Barbarian level. Like, everything went to shit and people are kind of crawling out of that hole. They've had several mana wars since then. Just fighting with all of the different things that the remnants mana energy. And now it's not like, oh, destroying each other with mana, but the mana tree's like, no. You all forgot who I was, and now I'm lonely. Look at how much more clean that is. Alright, I get it. So auto run. Back. Oh, there we go. That's you have to press a button to slow down. But why would you? Those sprite layers would have looked nice to stick on a 3DS screen. I say, forgetting for a second that I was the only person alive that enjoyed the 3D gimmick. Yeah, this would have been the perfect game for that. Honestly, they had a lot of opportunities for that. Hey, does this look sus or what? I think it looks sus. Alright, characters. We got anything? Nope. So same deal. This game is, I suspect, part of why Bastion appealed to me. Yeah, very similar. Like, it's weird, but I think this game kind of kicked off a genre. There was a 3DS game or a DS game called like Magicine that I swear it was exactly the same aesthetics. Yoo-hoo, please don't ignore me. Why wouldn't you talk to me? I'm standing right here. I'm a Sproutling. Yeah, and you're gonna be like, hello, okay. But yeah, it launched a whole aesthetic style that I don't think people really appreciate or understand. And as much as Kingdom Hearts was like a Nomura game, like it was a game that Nomura had his whole fucking fingerprint on. This influenced it too. Like you see that in things like 100 Acre Woods. You see that whenever you have to deal with all the Disney stuff. They learned how to make these like very appealing to soft graphics. And this kind of like Ryutama, almost Graham-based style. Like there's details in everything. Like this game is just so amazing for like. Look, I'm just gonna point all of this out to you, but like, look at this little pot plant here. Look at the sign that is here. Look at the little vegetables that are growing. Look at the laundry that's drying. Look at the little sash and flower that's on this little barista sign. And these tables and barrel and the little shutters on the window, like everything. Like this little mailbox for some reason has bunny ears. I don't understand why, but it does. Look at the inside of this place. It's like stationery and little books back there. There's little whatever. And I don't know why there's a phone there. There's a phone. Okay, you can save with Mr. Modi. Like, I don't know what this is, but it's there. Is that a mirror? I don't know. These flowers, a picture of a cock right there, presumably this lady's husband, this grandfather clock with an actual moving pendulum, another painting, candelabra of flowers. Look at this door knocker with a little bunny above it. Like all of this, like I'm not just droning on about this game. I mean, I am, but like this isn't my purpose. Like, look at this, not just this painting of a cock, but like look at that lion down below, or look at this. What is this? I don't know. It's a detail. It's flourish. And this game is just full of them. Anywhere in this game, and everything is just going to be full of like brimming with detail. Everything like a photo. Like a Renaissance style painting. There's a mushroom. There's a helmet. Look at this cuckoo clock. Like it works. The cuckoo clock has a little cuckoo that comes out of there. Look at this like minotaur whatever thing up here. There's some like herbs that are being hung up to dry. There's another clock with a working pendulum. The game is insane. Like, I haven't even described a tenth of the things that are in. Oh, god damn it. Code blocks of Channel Domina, Del Quest, and saluda, ya pedimos la paciencia que te baje. Que ya está alucinado mamalón. Anyways, I don't know if you can still hear me. Hopefully, my audio hasn't cut too terribly bad. I might have been just sending too much data over the line by talking incessantly. Alright, so far so good. We're doing exactly the same things we had before. Gonna go talk to Tipo. Gonna go get this highway wheel. Hello, Golf. Quiet, Onion. $50,000 lucre. Seems to have cleared up. Yeah, I bet I was talking too much. Oh, I want to look at something though. Stupid. Well, actually, we'll wait until after we do this dang thing. Because if not, Nicola will throw a hissy fit. Curiously, the load times seem to be about the same. But obviously, like, look at this. This is so much nicer. Whoa. Somehow the, maybe it was from before. Whoop. Let's turn the encounters on. We want the whole experience. Poor rabbits. Silly rabbit. Why me, Niccolo? Do you have a license for that butter knife there? Governor, bloody hell, it's coming home. Home, lads. Football's coming home. 3 lines, lads. God, I'm getting flashbacks to the Rick and Morty Outback adventures. We're going to Bendigo, Morty! We're going to Bendigo to get me cube! Alright, we're gonna just bypass this for a second. But yeah, so the sprites are the same. And I appreciate that. I think if they had tried to clean up the sprites, I would have been very upset. The instinct is to do that. The instinct is to make everything nice and clean. But sprites are a lost art. Like, look at this. Like, this should look garish, but like the blending of these beautiful backgrounds that have been somehow restored, beautifully redone, look great with these, like, you know, 20th century sprites. That's what this is. Like, it's these 20th century sprites against HD backgrounds, but it works. It's perfect somehow. Alright, do it. Nope. Guess not. Let's see, they really load down on the encounters here. And one of the interesting things is like when you can't turn off encounters, your whole purpose is to just make sure you have a quest in there, because once you finish the quest, they'll teleport you out. But if you have to go in and out of a place, that's like so frustrating. And this same kind of sandbox design ended up plaguing Kingdom Hearts, because I remember I had to do that all the time. Alright. And this part isn't that much worse in the original version. This sprite is still amazing. The background is really clear and good. But it's not that much different than the original. And look at that. Still a really pretty death. It sounds morbid, but it's true. Music is amazing as well. Like, the remake music is fantastic. They learned a lot of lessons from the Secret of Mana remake. And I mean a lot of lessons. They didn't go to Overclock Remix and have this like completely dissonant soundtrack. Alright, can we skip this bit? Because I really want to. Yep, I get it. Ha ha ha! Turn out your pockets. You don't have enough, but that's alright. This is a special one-time offer. Green ball bun, taco bug, iron pot. Oh, and take these too. Flame, medallion. Oh, Niccolo. Alright, and there we go. So we got a bunch of artifacts, but that don't matter because we're going back home. So as we mentioned, like, we saw this. When you looked at this teapot in the original version, it was all very, like, greeny. But it was Mrs. Potts. Like, it really was Mrs. Potts. Money crazy. Do we really want to save? No. We actually do not. But there you go. So let me just kind of summarize my thoughts here. As a remake, this is fantastic. Unless you're like hella nostalgic for PS1 games, play the remake. Army, jobby job. But yeah, you might have to be like really mighty nostalgic for the old times. Now, I'll say this: don't buy this game on CD. Like, don't buy the original. unless unless you really want to collect. That's the only reason. Buy it on PS Classics while you still can. On a PS3, although I wouldn't recommend it highly. On a PSP if you can, although that's getting trickier these days. On a PlayStation Vita or a PlayStation TV, certainly. Buy it. If you happen to have one of them TVs that plays PlayStation games, you might be able to buy it there too. Those are rarer than spit though. But play this game if you can on the original version. It's like $6. It's super affordable, but like depending on what systems you have, maybe not super accessible. If they had made this game playable on the PS4, I probably wouldn't have bought the remake, to be honest with you. But I did. I bought the remake. This is the remake. The music has all been updated. The graphics have been updated with the exception of the sprites. And it's beautiful. It's like straight up beautiful. Cannot describe it any other way. Wait a second, what's... But yeah, this game is beautiful. It sounds great. It plays great. Like, there's these weird kind of stilted mechanics for going through battles, but like you get used to it and you get into the rhythm of it. Don't expect it to be butter smooth. It's not meant to be. But for what it is, for being an action RPG, for kind of making you think your way to through a combat like it was in the original, this game is a fidelity remake of Legend of Mana. It looks prettier, it plays the same. It is just true to the original remake, with every improvement to it, just making the gameplay better. Sick of going through an area? Turn off encounters. Want to switch it to the old music? We got you. Figure out the two-player controller. You can play 2 players on this game. You absolutely can play 2 players. There are NPCs that join you. You can recruit people's save files and play the heroes from other save files. As player 2, you can save anywhere you want. There's a gallery, which actually I'm curious about. They redid all of the art. I think they did. They redid the art. But look at that. That's beautiful. I presume I've unlocked these from having played the game before. Look at that. That is gorgeous. And this is in line a little bit more with the Trials of Mana. Yeah, like the fact that they redid Pearl is amazing, and the Elazul there. I never realized he had a weird Zelgadis arm. Escad there. There's Dana. Oh no, the furries. We're gonna skip them. They're Sproutlings. But yeah, like this game is amazing, and there's like very few things that I complain about this game. It is frustrating at points. Later, like end game parts will do things to you that will make you want to tear your hair out. But for it waiting until the end game to do those things to you, it's not that bad. Let's see, I'm fixing to buy the remake because I missed my chance to buy it on PSP. Going to clear my to-buy list that has started to get a bit out of hand. No, that makes sense. If you ever want to play on my profile, like, just let me know, and you can do that. Like, even if you just want to see what it feels like. But yeah, if you wanted to throw, well, shoot, there's not an easy way for me to throw my profile onto your PSP. Anyways, I do recommend this game. It may have some bits of it that are like a little bit more frustrating for people who are not used to PS1 games. But try it out. It's a fantastic game. If you like the Trials of Mana, if you were happy with any of the Mana games up until this point, it is a solid entry into the Mana franchise. Don't expect to play a story, because the story here is like you're a witness to other people's stories. Your story is not told. You basically get to kind of make decisions that will alter the course of the story. Much appreciated, love. Yeah, of course. But it's a beautiful story. 3 beautiful stories, with the exception of the furry dragons. But it's really good. And when you get to the boss monsters, they're very satisfying, because they take up like a fourth of the screen, if not more. And it's very impressive. But One last thing I will say about this game is that it gets into the weeds about a lot of the weird subsystems. Like you can grow fruit, you can create instruments, you can forge weapons and armor, you can navigate the growth of pets that you will eventually get, or create golems that will go with you. And all of these things are so granulated and so specific that you could have three spreadsheets open and have to cross-reference each of those three spreadsheets to make sure that you are doing the maximum thing or accessing the maximum ability for some weird minigame. And you don't need to. I beat the game without doing any of that, and just kind of manipulating a few things here and there. But oh shoot, what did I? Oh, there we go. But it's a fun game. Don't worry about getting into the weeds with it. Just beat it. Have fun with it. Understand that it is a non-linear, strange sandbox-style game that is an action RPG that has a static main character, but otherwise it's fun. It's beautiful. It sounds amazing. The weird things that happen in the story are really cool, and there's things that I learned on this previous playthrough that I never knew before. Like if you take Bud, one of the sorcerer's apprentices, to the city of Geo, he knows all the students there because he used to be one, and so every line of dialogue has an extra line of dialogue with Bud, and they were all really funny and worth repeating. But all right, that was that. I think we're going to move on for a minute because I feel like I'm winding down, and what I like to do, actually, here, I'll let chat decide. Should I play Scott Pilgrim for the last couple of handful of minutes, like I'm probably going to play 15-30 minutes, or should I play Columns? Because I like playing Columns, it's my happy place. But playing Scott Pilgrim is very soothing as well in its own way. So, Scott Pilgrim or Columns? I could do Cuphead, but I would probably cuss so much that I'd get reported to Twitch. Oh boy, I have too many games.